And who are you? Trying to get at it. I'm a boss. I speak the truth, only the truth, and nothing else. You're a hater who only tell the lies.
Hey, what's up? My name is Nina G and welcome back to Music Talk. And today I'm going to be joined by Jade Leanne as well as Jordan Benjamin. And we're going to be talking about what it's like being a multi-performer. And of course, it's going to be done over Zoom, mainly because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So that's all we can do. But I hope you guys will enjoy this video. And make sure to comment any questions you may have for Jade, Jordan, or myself. And without further ado, we're going to go head over to Zoom and we're going to go talk to Jade and Jordan.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and for honestly joining me. I'm super excited because I feel like this video, there's not a lot of videos on it, if I'm being honest. There's not a lot of people talking about this topic of being a multi-performer. But before we get into that, please introduce yourselves.
So, hi, I'm Jordan, and I'm an actor, performer from London. Hopefully, if COVID is done by next spring, I should be in the West End by then.
West End, sorry.
So yeah,
sorry.
That's me.
I love how nonchalant you said that. Oh yeah, you know, God willing, if spring rolls around, I'll be on West End.
And I'm Jade Leanne. I am an artist, a singer-songwriter, R&B singer-songwriter from East London. I dance a little bit as well. I act a little bit as well. No major news.
Like, you being modest.
I know that's right.
I think the main thing that when it comes to being a multi-performer, how do you actually interlink it together with your main hobby as well as separate it so that it's its own entity?
Wow. Yeah, it is. For me, a lot of it comes down to what is important to the time. Like if I have an acting job that is lined up, then that's what I'm going to prioritize in that season. But then it doesn't mean that I neglect my other skills, so I don't completely forget them. But in a lot of what I do, I kind of like to interlink them a lot of the time, and especially like being an actor, when I wouldn't be in front of the camera and when it wasn't my scene, instead of just sitting around, I would like go be with the producer, be with the director, and have that little walkie-talkie and the earpiece, and I used to love it. Now, making my own films, I now have a better understanding of what's required in front of the camera because I've been there, and also vice versa, because I've been behind the camera. When I'm in front of the camera, I know what's needed for the director and stuff like that.
I can say the same, like in terms of being a singer, being an artist. I feel like although just standing, behind a mic is effective sometimes, I do feel like it's important to put on a show. That's really important to me. That's important to me. I really try to put on a show. So I've got a musical theatre background. So, the singing, the dancing, the acting, all of it. And so for me, going forward as an artist, I would really like to incorporate all that. And I do think it's important. I do feel like there are levels of theatrics involved when it comes to live shows. You have to pick and choose when you do just want to do the standing behind the mic, not doing too much, really simple and effective. And then when you want to do the whole dances, the lighting even. Acting as well, when it comes to portraying emotion, you don't just want to sing the lyrics, it's about storytelling. So you want to be doing the facial expressions, you want to be doing the body language. Just so much, and I just think it all does interlink, it all intertwines, and I think that's what makes you an all-round great performer, when you can interlink.
Yeah, no, 100%, because we always talk about, especially with live performances, with artists, stage presence. When you're becoming an artist, people do not talk about stage presence, and stage presence is really what's going to set you apart, which kind of brings me, I guess, into like pop culture. I think there's a lot, especially in our industry, with trends. We have so many people who are out there. There's one thing between doing, music or an art form as a passion, and there's another for jumping on a trend. Like, what are your thoughts of that when it comes to multi-performing?
Honestly, I do feel like some artists, it does kind of feel like they are trend hopping. I only think that because there is such a demand on being a triple threat. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be a singer these days. You have to either be able to sing and dance. You have to be able to either sing or play. You have to be able to act or play or act and dance. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like there is such a demand on being a triple threat that just honestly, sometimes I look at artists and I'm like, you never used to dance before and now we're dancing and you're looking a bit awkward and stuff. So I guess, I don't know whether it's just a trend or if it's pressure. It could just be down to experimenting. You just never know. Sometimes along the way, you have to switch up the show. Me, I'm not too, fussed about that, because I feel like you lose your authenticity. I feel like trends shouldn't be so glorified. I just feel like everyone should just kind of stay in their lane and do what works for them. But at the same time, I do think to up your skills as well, you know. And sometimes it's just a matter of wanting to do better. You might want to tap into dancing.
I always think that when it comes to like artists hopping on trends, I always think that there's always like an element of fear in themselves that like their own sound isn't going to be enough to propel them forward. So they've got to jump on the trends. They got to do like what everyone else is doing. Like, and then but then like, you know, that like there are loads and loads of different audiences out there. So people don't necessarily need to always be pushing to jump on the trends, but they know that like if they do that, then it can propel their numbers, and they don't want to be irrelevant. Like, but
that's so interesting because you say, you know, like there's so many different audiences. If you keep trend hopping, you don't find your soul base.
True.
Like your fan base, your solid group. Do you know what I mean? This trend will come with that audience. That trend will come. So who are your fan base?
Who are you trying to please?
You know what I mean? Who's really rocking with you? Who knows you as an artist? Who says, I like what you have to offer and I'm sticking with you? Because if you keep switching it up and it's not making any sense, you have to make it make sense, you know?
Again, I kind of understand where you're coming from with the pressure. Like, there is a high demand. You can no longer just be one thing. You need to come with a whole package. I think mainly with the younger generations, actually, I see a lot more of that trend hopping thing where you get these really young artists doing the most. Absolutely. And no shit on anyone. I think it's more those are the types where you do see the kind of trend hopping. The next thing I want to ask you guys, what would you say is a memory that you can recollect about being a multi-performer that taught you something really important that stuck with you?
I would have to say the last show when I was at theatre school, the one where I was graduating, because that was one where I was a little more lax when it came to learning lines and practicing, because I thought that talent was going to carry me. But I learned a harsh lesson one time when like I came to theatre school and everyone knew their lines and I was not ready for it. And like in the moment, I felt embarrassed. I felt like I could have done a lot better. I could have worked harder. And so I think as a multi performer, like talent can only get you so far. You've got to also do the work. And if someone is out here not with the same natural giftings as you, but they're working 10 times harder, then they're gonna fly past you if you're not doing anything.
I think for me, my experience, the one that I can recall right now would probably be like my time at sixth form when I was studying musical theatre, and like just thinking back to like the rehearsals and like the musicals that we would do, and just falling in love with just performing arts in all its disciplines, like just acting, singing, dancing, the way everything would just mesh together to portray one story. I just loved it. Why limit yourself to just the vocals? Why limit yourself to just the face? Why limit yourself to just the bodily expression? Like, incorporate it all, and it's just beautiful. It's just art. For me, you know, moving forward as a multi-performer, it's like I want to incorporate all of that. I don't just want to box myself in, demonstrate this or storytell this in a different way. It's so beautiful. Just performing arts, just in its entirety. It's a beautiful thing.
Both of you have experience with stage and camera. Could you talk about the differences?
I would say performing in front of the camera is more daunting. I don't know about you. No? Okay. I'm gonna run with that. I feel like for me it's more daunting because there's the pressure to be not perfect, but perfect. I feel like when you're on stage, you have freedom to just be, to just feel. And also it's more difficult with camera because you don't have a live audience. You don't have that energy to bounce off of. That you know, no one's reciprocating what you're giving. Every live show is different. So I feel like you can be a bit more free, a bit more relaxed, be present in the moment. Every show is different, every night is different. I feel like with camera, there's the pressure of precision. You have to do it, take again, but you have to do it the same. And not that you can't be free. Of course you can be free and you can have fun and it is a vibe. You have to carry your own energy, do you know what I mean? There's no one's giving you anything back. You have to kind of keep it up and keep it going.
The point about the energy is so key, because like that feeling once a show is done, and you're dripping with sweat, you know that you probably smell worse than you've ever smelled before in your life. My arms are up, so you're making it even worse.
Oh God.
There were just roars of cheers and clapping, and you know you gave everything. Is one of the best feelings. I would actually say that I actually think the opposite of what you just said. Yeah, like, I would say that being on stage is more daunting because it's just it, like that's the show, like there's no second take, there's no third take, it's just one take, go for it, do it, and people are going to witness that, whereas I can make so many mistakes on TV and no one's gonna see it, no one's gonna know.
That's fair. Like you say, you could take a lot of takes with the camera, but the thing is, trying to get your energy right in front of the camera can be so difficult. I find live performances really daunting. Like with me as an artist, one thing I have to work on is doing more live performances and practicing, because even though I don't feel nervous, for some reason, I'm gonna be totally honest, my whole body reacts in the most nervous way.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, I went to a performance and apparently my whole leg started shaking. It started having a twitch and I didn't even realize. Like, I was feeling so confident as well, you know, I was singing my heart out, and apparently the whole time I was on stage, my leg was doing this, and I was like,
you know what I mean? You're about to put yourself out there to be vulnerable. You're about to put yourself out there for people to just watch you, to just receive you. That is scary stuff, man. As amazing as it feels, it is proper scary.
but we love it. We live for it. This is why we're here. Jordan, when the West End comes, send me my tickets, please. Send me the tickets, okay? So we can all witness this. I think my next question is, like, what advice would you give to people, I think, starting out, like, wanting, like, people who have multi-talents but aren't sure about how to start broadcasting them out?
I'd say you don't have to think that there's only one thing for you. Especially in our culture, it's always, what do you want to do when you grow up? Mm-hmm. And usually you expect one answer back. Just try a lot of different things. Don't limit yourself and don't put yourself in a box, no matter how much people might try and do it to you. So many amazing people in the industry that have proven that you can, like you don't just do one thing. Just try. If it flops, at least you tried.
I'd say it's not about boxing yourself in. It's about expression. It's about expressing yourself. You know, I'm not a poet. I wouldn't class myself as a poet, but you know, I've written a poem, or I've written poems and spoken words, because sometimes you can't sing. I just feel like it's about, have a vision for yourself, see yourself where you want to be. The thing I love about being an artist, about being a creative, is that there are no rules. There is no any way to do anything. You can do what you want. So I feel like it's about playing, it's about experimenting, it's about pushing yourself. Don't get to a place where you're comfortable. Challenge yourself. Bring the dance into the stage. Bring the act into the stage. Just wild out, man. Yeah, at the end of the day, just artistically wild out.
Yeah.
Like, there's no rules.
That's the best way to put it, to be honest.
The creative world is your creative oyster. That is all it is.
No, I agree with all the points you say. Expecting one person to be one thing or the other, especially like growing up wise. Like, I'm not gonna be back to my 13-year-old self. Like, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna go through different things, and my style is gonna change. As you go along those steps, you learn new things about yourself. People can give you advice, but at the end of the day, you can do what you want. And the last thing is, plug yourselves. What is next for you guys?
You know, just to wrap up the year, I plan to release a music video that Jordan actually shot.
Yes, we love the collab. Are we talking collaboration right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that'll be coming out end of December, and then moving forward, it's new year, new project, baby. So we've already started on the next project, because like you said, you know, as you grow, your style changes, and I think my style has definitely changed, it's definitely matured, and it represents where I'm at right now in life and in my journey. So I'm really, really excited. I'd say it's my best music to date.
She's a great performer. Experience EP out now.
Did you see that plug? Did you see that plug? EP out now.
Next to me in the cast of Hairspray London, and we're going to be in the London Coliseum between April and August.
Get your tickets,
next year. Get your tickets.
That is insane. Oh my gosh, you both are like doing massive things. I'd love to hear. Oh my god, congrats guys.
Thank you.
100 says. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I think everyone watching should like and subscribe.
He did the YouTube thing. I love it. Yes, go like.
Notification bell as well.